We are lucky to have resident doctor, Dr. Eric Westman, back with us today. And today we are going to be talking about the 3 biggest mistakes people make while following a keto diet or protocol. What would you say the 3 biggest mistakes that people make are?
Well, the 3 biggest mistakes they've changed. So as the availability of information and food has changed, so have the 3 biggest mistakes. So what I see is focus on net carbs, letting the macros drive your protein, and then too much fat. Those are the 3 biggest mistakes.
So the first one being the net carbs. Let's dissect each 3 and find out how we could overcome these mistakes.
So in our approach, the uncomplicated, real food kind of approach to keto, we use total carbs, not net carbs. And the reason for that is that when you calculate net carbs, you subtract out fiber, sugar alcohols, but these can have an impact on the metabolism. So it turns out the non-absorbable fiber, as it's labeled, can actually be absorbed. And the sugar alcohols and sweeteners can actually affect the ketones, even though they might not affect the glucose. So in the general practice, if you use total carbs, you're confident that someone's going to be in ketosis. If you use net carbs, it's kind of like the over-the-counter medicines. You're not going to be exactly sure if someone's in ketosis, and also you allow people to then use the new kind of fake foods that may have low net but high total carbs, and I've seen that mess up a program very frequently.
So I know that this does happen in your clinic. You'll have a patient come in, they're having a stall, they'll come in, they'll say, Dr. Westman, I am following page 4, I'm really following the program to the letter. You ask them what they're eating, and a lot of the times they don't read the back of the label, which is the total carbs, just the net carbs.
Right.
And it's an honest mistake, but it's a mistake that you pick up pretty often, right?
Yeah, well, so I guess the bottom line is net carbs can work, for the third of people that may not actually need a keto approach. But that means 2/3 of people, net carbs won't work well.
Right.
So don't confuse the net carb calculation, keto, and not working, meaning keto won't work. Just then dial down or go down to the total carb method, and we use 20 grams a day in our approach, and then it probably will work.
And I know that in certain countries other than the United States, they have a different way of looking at the nutritionals at the back of the labels. Do you want to just discuss that so that we can help people to identify that
Yeah,
as well?
so some countries have been advised on their labels to have the net carbs as the total carbs listed, because it's the net carbs that impact the blood sugar, and that's an assumption. So actually, outside the US, the label is net carbs. So you have to add the fiber to
Back.
the total to the back to get the total. So
Plus the polyols.
Plus the polyols.
The sugar alcohols. Right.
So that's very confusing.
Okay. So at least if you are someone that's from outside of the United States, be sure to not just follow the net carbs, as what they call the total carbs. Be sure to add the fiber and the sugar alcohols, which is called the polyols, back in so that you can get your total carb count. So that was the first one. Second one is?
Well, more and more people are using these macros, the apps, the calculators, and they're listening to what the app is telling them rather than what their body's telling them. In fact, I have tried one for a while, or a bunch of them, and one of them told me, I hope you enjoyed your lunch. Well, I didn't have lunch. I didn't want lunch.
Right.
So the app may tell you you're under your protein for
Right.
the day, or your fat isn't over and the ratio isn't right. We discourage the use of these apps to drive what you eat. You should eat based on what your body is telling you, not what the app is telling you. Now, they can be helpful for keeping you on track. A lot of people find the accountability of writing it in there keeps them more focused in terms of the foods, but be careful if you're finding yourself responding to what an app thinks you should have, and not what your body is telling you.
So I've heard you saying this so many times, but I think it's so true, and that is your biggest saying is, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. And most people the other thing that we program to do most of the time is to eat 3 square meals a day. What is your take on that as well?
Well, it's not necessary.
Right.
You know, especially if you had a car and your gas tank was full, would you fill it up 3 times
No.
a day? Well,
Yeah.
I met someone who did. So,
Right.
I mean, we just have to learn how people are able to eat. Now, most people eat once or twice a day
What-
when they're keto adapted.
What about the other thing that happens to all of us? We get told, finish what's on your plate. You know,
Well, because our mother and father taught
there's
us.
starving
right?
people out there in the world, right?
Right.
You better
Well-
eat what's on your plate.
When you get full, it's okay to leave something on your plate.
Right.
Put it in a box, take it home, share it with a friend, right? So there's a lot of habit that we have to unlearn. But you know what's really neat about keto is that it pretty much happens automatically. Just stick to the foods, the hunger craving goes away, and it's pretty amazing that way.
So I think the take home there would be to not follow what an app or some kind of intelligence device is telling you what to do, rather follow your own intelligent device, which is your own body.
There you
Okay,
go.
that's number 2. The third one.
Well, there's this confusion about, oh, it's all about the carbs. If something has 0 carbs, I can have as much as I want. Generally, yes, but if you overconsume cheese, cream, oils, butter, these technically may have 0 or almost 0 carbs, but they do have a lot of calories. So I'm seeing and having to, you know, clamp down on the consumption of oils and butter and coffee, for example, or other drinks. When you add up the calories, there are maybe 500 or 1,000 calories from fat in the drinks. So you want to be careful about the amount of fat.
So,
In
sorry.
our approach, we limit that explicitly at the beginning.
Right. So, you know, I've certainly seen that you know, some people that are following keto, you know, they think they can have this unlimited amounts of butter and lard and fat and bacon and everything else.
It
And
has no carbs.
correct,
I mean, I can
yeah.
see why that.
And it would make your ketones look good.
They look really good.
They look great. So at the end of the day, do you subscribe to the idea that if you are consuming the fat, your body's going to burn the fat that you're consuming? And I think what you're trying to do is have your body burn its own fat on board, your pantry on board. Is that what you prescribe to that?
Right. So if you're trying to lose your fat weight or lose weight, you don't want to eat fat. You want the ketones and the fuel to come from your fat store, not from the fat you eat or
Okay.
drink. Yeah.
So that would be the 3 biggest mistakes that people are making. And obviously, what you mentioned at the beginning is that this changes all the time. These are the new things that you're seeing in your clinic. How many people do you see in your clinic?
Hard to count.
You got a 6-month waiting list? Just,
Well, 6-month waiting list, but during a week, maybe 100 people per week.
well, in an ideal world, hopefully there'll be a heal clinic in your city. That'll be, if you get your way, that'll be a reality.
Right, because of the waiting list and huge need, starting companies, I think, is going to be a way to scale this up. The product companies with Adapt Your Life, and then the clinical companies like Heal Clinics.
Well, at the end of the day, I hope this was valuable. If it was, please subscribe and like our videos. We feel that if we've given you this valuable content, try and share these videos as much as possible, and hopefully we'll have an Adapt event coming to your city soon. Thank you.